What if I told you it's possible to earn enough points for a dream trip in a very short time? Yes, I know it can be overwhelming to figure out which are the right cards to get and which cards to spend on, but here's the thing, booking a trip to that dream destination on points is much closer than you think. I've done it and so can you. By the end of this video, you'll know the best strategies for earning the maximum number of Aeroplan points in just 6 months time. Let's dive right in. So first, let's break down how the average person spends their money and how that relates to earning Aeroplan points fast. Now the numbers we're going to be looking at is relative to the average income in Canada, which is around the $65,000 mark. And that's going to serve as the benchmark for everything we're going to talk about in this video. Now first, let's start with the everyday expenses that all of us have to deal with as part of everyday life. Things like groceries or dining out or getting gas for your vehicle or taking an Uber. Now on average, Canadians spend about $500 to $700 per month in these categories. So we'll note that down in the everyday spending category, and why not earn rewards on things that you're already buying anyway every month. Next, let's talk bills and pre-authorized payments. You know, the predictable monthly stuff, rent, phone bills, subscriptions, and so on and so forth. Your Netflixes, your Hulus, your Fubo TVs, all these things to help you keep up with the entertainment. The average monthly spend here, if we factor in the fact that 1/3 of Canadians are renting, and with some of the rent prices these days, let's call it on average the range of $1,200 to $2,000 a month. And lastly, of course, there's those large planned expenses that come around every now and then. Say you're renovating your home, or you're looking to snag some front row seats to an upcoming concert, or maybe you're about to have a wedding and you gotta entertain a whole bunch of people. These large planned expenses are your best opportunity to set aside that significant spend because you're about to allocate it towards earning the welcome bonus on a new credit card. Okay, now that we know where the spend is going, let's talk strategy. Which credit cards are you gonna get in order to maximize the return on all this spending over the next 6 months? For your everyday spending, what better card to use than the American Express Cobalt card, which is one that we love here at Prince of Travel and we keep talking about over and over again. The membership rewards points you earn on the Cobalt card can be converted at a 1-to-1 ratio over to Aeroplan, making them extremely powerful. And of course, the best feature on this card is that it earns 5 times the points on food and drinks, which is one of the most common daily expenses, up to $2,500 spent per month. On top of that, you'll also get a welcome bonus of 1,250 points upon spending $750 in each of the first 12 months. And on top of that, you've got 3x the points on streaming services, 2x the points on transit and gas, and 1x the points on everything else, making it a powerhouse of a card. So if you allocate your daily everyday expenses on the Cobalt card strategically, hit that minimum monthly spend to earn that monthly bonus, and put all your food and drinks on this card, you're looking at upwards of 35,000 Aeroplan points earned just by spending on this card over the course of 6 months. Meanwhile, there's another card you could consider for this purpose, and that's the TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite card. This card also has the added perk of being a Visa rather than an American Express, so if you're like me and you shop at the T&T every now and then for the Asian snacks and they don't take Amex, then the TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite's got you covered. This card gives you 1.5x the points on groceries and gas, and if you spend about $500 a month on groceries with the TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite, that'll net you about 5,000 points at the end of 6 months. You'll also earn 10,000 Aeroplan points as a welcome bonus upon making your first purchase, and a further 15,000 Aeroplan points upon spending $7,500 in the first 6 months. So if you can reach that spending threshold, you're looking at about 30,000 Aeroplan points all in. Now let's talk about those pesky bills and pre-authorized payments. Here's a fun strategy. Use those bill payments to unlock a huge welcome bonus on a credit card that's gonna add a whole lot of value to your travels. And here's an example of what I mean. If you look at the American Express Platinum card, it's got a big welcome bonus which can be converted 1-to-1 to Aeroplan upon spending $10,000 in the first 3 months. Now you might think $10,000, that's a whole lot of money to spend, but not if you factor in your rent payments, which is typically something that you can't pay with a credit card, but thanks to our friends over at Chexy, you now can. That's right, Chexy is a service that enables Canadians to pay their rent every month using a credit card. Chexy will charge the amount of your rent to your credit card plus a 1.75% processing fee, and then send the rent payment to your landlord on your behalf. So if you put your monthly rent payments on the American Express Platinum card for 3 months, that'll give you a leg up towards meeting that $10,000 minimum spend. Now the fact that you can unlock that welcome bonus, which is easily worth $1,000 or more in travel, justifies that 1.75% extra fee that you pay on rent thanks to Chexy. With this card, you also get 2 times the points on dining and travel and 1 times the points on everything else, meaning that after 6 months, presuming that you hit that minimum spending requirement, you're looking at about 80,000 membership rewards points, which again can be convertible 1-to-1 over to Aeroplan and used to fund those first class travels. And now that brings us to our large planned expenses, which like I mentioned is a great opportunity to allocate them towards a big welcome bonus that you can unlock a whole bunch of points just for getting the card. And for this, there's 2 cards we're going to recommend. The first is the American Express Aeroplan Reserve card, the flagship Air Canada co-branded credit card issued by American Express. Now on this card, spending $7,500 $60,000 in the first 3 months will unlock a welcome bonus of 60,000 Aeroplan points right off the bat. On top of that, you'll get 3 times the points on Air Canada and Air Canada vacations, 2 times the points on dining and food delivery, and 1.25 times the points on everything else. If you hit that welcome bonus in the first 3 months with a big planned purchase, you're looking at least 68,000 Aeroplan points coming out of the first 6 months of holding this card, and that number only goes up depending on how you use the card and which categories of spend you put on the card month to month. Now, the second recommendation here for a large planned purchase is going to be the TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite privilege. Now, this is TD's higher tier premium card compared to the Visa Infinite that we talked about earlier, and you're going to get 20,000 points upon making a first purchase and a boost of 30,000 points upon spending $12,000 in the first 6 months. So whether you have a single big purchase of $12,000 or you spread that out $2,000 per month over the first 6 months, provided you can hit that threshold, you'll get 50,000 points as part of the intro bonuses in those first 6 months, and then on top of that, the earning rates are pretty favorable. So after month 6, you're looking at least 60,000 Aeroplan points coming away from this card. Now that we've broken it down for you, it's time for you to take action. Review your spending habits and figure out which of these cards makes the most sense given your situation in order to maximize the number of Aeroplan points that you can earn in the first 6 months of holding one of these cards. But the fun doesn't stop there, because once you've figured out how to earn the points, you then need to know how to redeem them for some of the world's best flying experiences like Emirates, business class, and first class. That's exactly what we're going to talk about in next week's video, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and stay tuned.